Hey guys, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going through yet another Forgotten Champion, the Forgotten Legendary, the Black Knight. One of these guys, you just don't see much of him, but he's actually pretty useful for quite a lot of situations. He got a buff a good few months ago now, but since his buff he's actually pretty strong, so let's just go through his kit. Just a quick champion guide on him to let you see what you can use him for. So he's got an A1 here that attacks one enemy with a 75% chance of placing Provoke for one turn. Can't get booked up, but the damage can get booked up though. But 75% is pretty good, and Provoke's a strong debuff. His A2 is the one that got a buff though, and this is pretty nuts now, to be honest. You get a 15% heal and the big increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns with a 2-turn cooldown, so it's the best way of keeping increased defense up in the game at the moment. And he does have this last ability here. This is the one that kind of lets him down, I feel. It's an AoE that damage increases according to the amount of HP this champion has lost. Now, I don't know why this damage isn't based on HP. That's really what they need to change with this champion. And as long as this could slam, he'd be really, really strong. Because this ability here hits really hard, actually. He's got good multipliers on it. It hits hard with the HP. But then you have to build him an attack as well. It just makes it too awkward. He does have this really strong passive too, which places unkillable on him for 1 turn if the incoming damage exceeds 15% of his max HP in one attack, which of any nuker it's definitely going to do. So he's pretty hard to kill as well, and he's like this. So although he does have this strange ability that looks like a kind of AoE killer, he's much more of a defensive champion with these 2 abilities, and he's able to provoke if you want to put the accuracy on him as well. So the way I've built him here, I have built him purely for one job only, and that's for arena defense. This guy's going into my sort of high-end arena defense team just now, and he's pretty damn good, I have to admit, which means you have to build him a certain way. So we're looking at a shield set, and let's go into his stats first. So he's at 210 speed. You want him reasonably fast because you want to cycle through that increased defense. He's at 600 resistance, which is what you need really to get past these madames, and he's also running with Lydia as lead, so it's actually 700 resistance. I couldn't pump any accuracy into this build, unfortunately, but that's not what we're looking for. The rest is just into survivability, so 3.5k defense, and unfortunately only 50k HP. I've got a few pieces that I'm going to take off my Mountain King, like a shield set shield, which will get him up to roughly about sort of 70, 75, which is fine. I'm running them alongside another shield set, so this isn't the main shield set to take damage from, but it's just a handy bonus to have another one on top. So really what you're looking for is pieces like resistance and HP and some speed, so that kind of stuff. Resistance here, HP, speed, resistance, HP, resistance and speed, HP, you get the idea. Defense, gauntlets, definitely resistance on the chest piece if you're going for the arena build. This can definitely be a solid dungeon build as well. I mean, it could... Like I say, I don't think he's that great as a damage dealer, to be honest. I've even tried using his last breath alongside Fury set just to see if the damage even multiplies even more, but it doesn't work at all, guys. Don't waste your silver. Fury set's a bit underwhelming just now, but I thought maybe this and the Fury would sort of stack together, but it doesn't. So like I say, resistance on the chest piece, speed boots, more defense, some resistance there, and then resistance banner. And then you're just looking for a mix of defense and HP on these 2 pieces. Probably would rather have HP, to be honest, so I could switch these both round to HP and get some more HP up here for a shield set. Also, HP is a little bit better at surviving in high-end arena just now because so many people ignore so much defense, so the more HP you've got, the better. Now for masteries here, I have thrown him heavy into a defensive build, so Solidarity is really good. The team I'm using has loads of resistance, but then they put up loads of buffs as well, so they get 5 for each buff placed on them by this champion. So he's placing the continuous heal and the increased defense, so that's given 10 resistance to everyone, but all the other champions that put on buffs too have Solidarity as well, so you get an extra sort of 20, 30 resistance on everyone, which is strong. Obviously go to Unshakable, and then you could go down the accuracy tree, but I just wanted more HP really, so I just went down this route. And lasting gifts is really, really good because you could extend the duration of those buffs just in case you want to use your A1 or A3 to kill off someone. But yeah, he's just a solid all-round champion. I mean, this A2 just makes him so strong for so many different areas in the game. If you're struggling anywhere, he's going to be constantly healing and constantly keeping the increased defense up. so it might mean you'll get away with not even using a reviver in a lot of situations. And he can also deal some damage. Stick some accuracy on him if you're using him for PvE, and that provoke will come in so clutch a lot of the time. You know, 75% is a good chance, so it definitely keeps the problem champions at bay. So here he is running in my arena defense team. As you can see, he's pretty high, crazy power. Lydia, I use her just now because she's got this aura here that gives ally resist in arena by 100. So suddenly my Black Knight is actually sitting at like 700 resistance, so nothing is getting through him. And the fact that if anyone does, he's getting this unkillable put on him, so he's a really solid champion just for this sort of team. This sort of team is not meant to kill anyone though. It probably will kill this team because this is a bit lower level. But the idea with this team is when you get to Platinum Reset, it's just going to be a nightmare to get through. So as you can see, resists everything there, resists. Look at all the damage it's tanking. Mountain King's used his shield, and then you've got Strengthen, Increased Defense, and I mean, look at all those buffs. And see, for all of those buffs, all these guys have got Solidarity, apart from Mountain King, because he doesn't put buffs on. So this is extra resistance. So, I mean, it's overkill, but some of them are pushing like 800 resistance here. It's crazy. But yeah, even if they face we'll see if we can find a higher power team than this after this, but even if you do face a higher power team, it's going to take them ages to get through. There we go. Look at all those buffs. Absolutely crazy. This team is not going anywhere anytime soon. And Mountain King's quite handy for finishing off the job. Okay, here we found a better team. We've got Folly as well. He's usually a good damage dealer. Lysandra. Turn meter will get affected, but let's just go ahead and see what happens here. So I'm always just going to auto it because this is my defense team. Try to do some stuff there, doesn't work. Tanks all that damage, easy. And even though Duchess is taking a little bit of damage there, I've got mitigation from her, and now from Strengthen, and I've got increased defense up, heals on. Yeah, it's crazy. You're not getting through this team in any hurry. And there we go. And I mean, again, I've got accuracy on my Lydia here, so she can put some debuffs on, but generally it's going to be pretty hard to win a lot of fights against the high-end teams. But what I'm hoping is a lot of the time they'll just get annoyed and just leave the game, so you'll actually end up getting some wins like that. Also, Lydia's really good for that block revive. And there we go, and it's a slow one, and we win. So, I mean, that's the ideal situation. If a team comes in to beat us, we stall them for like a good few minutes, and we get the win out of it. Not only does that stop higher power teams attacking us, but it also gives us that win. And in a platinum push for reset, that is absolutely clutch. So here we go, let's look at this sort of team. Here's 250, 40k power. Bunch of good debuffers here. Every single one of these guys, apart from Arbiter, puts on some really strong debuffs. Obviously they're going to be way faster than us, so let's hit auto again and watch the resists happen. Nothing is hitting them. Yep, not happening, guys, not happening, I'm afraid. I mean, the good thing about this as well is because it's so high power and they look at the champions that's in here, a lot of teams will just look at it and think, you know what, I'm not even going to bother attacking this team, it just looks a bit of a nightmare. Molly's doing some stuff, so I think it looks like I will win this one. It's just going to be an incredibly slow battle, so I'm probably just going to cut this off here and we'll join in at the end of the fight. Right guys, well I came back after that fight and we were on 16 minutes straight and nobody had won yet, so it was a total stall team. So yeah, I mean, a team like that's just not going to be able to beat my team, but obviously my team is not going to back out because it's on defense, so most of the time you'll end up just getting the win because they probably just back out because they need to get more points to try and fight for the reset. So that's where a team like this is really strong, and that is why Black Knight, I think, has a really strong use in one of the higher kind of end parts of the game. We didn't see his passive come into play very much there, but that's because these teams we were at the higher part of Gold 4, which hasn't got like the top tier champions in it. Once you get to Platinum, you'll have Trundas that deal crazy damage, and this will proc quite often. And it's on a 2-turn cooldown. So I would say as long as you can have him probably one of the fastest in the team, it makes sense because his unkillable comes around faster, and you want him to put these on really fast as well. Just get more continuous heals up. Yeah, super strong champion, guys. Definitely one of the forgotten ones, not used so much, but yeah, it can be used really, really well. So anyway, guys, that is the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm planning to do quite a lot more of this series. I like the kind of forgotten legendary champions because especially if you're free to play or a low spender, if you pull a legendary, it's a big deal. And if you look at it and like nobody's got any good reviews on it and everyone says, oh, don't use this guy, don't use that guy, it kind of puts you off a little bit. But all the legendaries really, with the exception of like one or two, have a good use somewhere in the game. So at least you can see this guy doing some serious work. And even in this kit, if you chucked him into any sort of PvE content, with exception to the clan boss, he wouldn't be very good there. Although I say not very good, he could make your team really survivable, you know. So he could wind up getting you some damage if you've got some good damage dealers that are needing some resilience. But yeah, you can throw him into any sort of dungeons, things like that, Doom Tower content, and he should be able to help your team get through. But yeah, that's it, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel as usual. Hit that bell button for notifications so you don't miss the next video, and have a great day, guys. Peace.